morning. Welcome to Therapy Now. I am your host, Dr. Ben. Well, in today's session, we're going to talk about family systems therapy, and specifically, we're going to look at two aspects. Number one, what is enmeshment? And number two, what is differentiation? So I know you're wondering, Dr. Ben, tell us more about this thing you say. It's called enmeshment. So think about a family system. I'm sure you've seen family systems that they tend to do everything together. They eat, they pray together, they sing together, they gossip together. Correct? So that is what enmeshment simply is. That family system does everything together 24/7. Well, now tell me, what's wrong with that picture? All right, so the other one is differentiation, correct? So basically, as an individual, you learn to develop your own critical thinking, self-regulation, and assertiveness, correct? So, in a family system that is overly enmeshed, that does not leave room for individuals to develop their creativity and imagination. Simply put, they find it difficult to step outside the box. All right, so let's take a scenario here. So, John is a 15-year-old male and he goes to school. So, let's say he's met a young lady that he likes and he finds it difficult to approach that young lady. So, what does he do? At lunchtime, he picks up his cell phone and calls the dad. Hey, dad, guess what? I've seen a lady that I really like. Her name is Jennifer, and she's good looking. She's got a nice, smile. And so, what should I tell Jennifer? And so the dad gives advice to the son. Hey, just tell her that she has a nice smile, since that's one of the things that you've noticed about Jennifer. So John, now towards the end of lunch, actually approaches Jennifer and tells Jennifer, he said, hey, sorry to bother you. I know you're probably having fun with your friends, and I don't want to take up any more of your time. I just want to tell you that my dad says you have a nice smile. Well, guess what happens? Jennifer says, hey, that's creepy. You're weird. And so now what has happened? So John goes home disappointed, crying, and the dad says, hey, I mean, you've never done this before. What's going on? Did something happen at school today? Hmm. And so he says, yes, dad, you advised me to tell Jennifer that she has a nice smile. And so the dad says, well, she has a nice smile. That's what you said. I mean, isn't that true? And he said, well, I told her that you said she has a nice smile. And dad is like, uh-oh, oh no. So this is a good example of what it means to be undifferentiated So when you're enmeshed, you're exactly undifferentiated because you find it difficult to think for yourself, to self-regulate, and to be assertive. So we can take this a step further. So John grows up to become an adult, correct? And so he now gets, starts a family, and that same system that he grew up in, being non-assertive, passes on to that structure that he builds. So everything that he does in his life comes from that vantage point where he is not fully self-regulated and struggles with asserting his beliefs. And just imagine someone as John's age at university and the professor is teaching. This individual does not really have that confidence to assert his thoughts, right? So the professor could say something that is contrary, or maybe there's more that you could add to the lecture by putting up your hand and saying, "Excuse me, professor, I think we can consider A, B, or C, but since you're non-assertive, you struggle with that." So essentially, it's easy to go back to that family system that is enmeshed to open up, to really ask for advice, or to seek someone that can confirm what you're thinking. So essentially, you don't have that confidence, you don't have that drive, that assertiveness to state what you want, or even if you have an idea. So you can see how this tags along in every aspect of life, be it maybe you're a student at university, or you're trying to establish a new intimate relationship. So if you're finding it difficult to self-regulate, this can affect you in all the different areas of your life. And so there is two aspects. Number one, as we mentioned, being able to self-regulate, you have intrapsychic differentiation as well. So what that means is that individuals find it difficult to separate their thoughts from emotions. So these individuals again find it extremely challenging to find balance, and they tend to err more on the side of emotional reaction rather than simply understanding why they're feeling a certain emotion by balancing that with logic. So that aspect of the critical mind coming into play, it's more or less the emotional mind taking over. So there's a couple of things here. In a system that is highly enmeshed, individuals do not have that drive to become who they truly are, to self-identify, to develop assertiveness outside of that system. And the more enmeshed a family is, the more it becomes challenging for an individual to really find their own way out of that system. And there's one way that we can, or I help individuals in this area, really to walk down that path of introspection and being able to understand why they're feeling certain emotions and why they feel stuck, perhaps in a system that is enmeshed, and really helping them to navigate the trenches of this emotional system. So there's more information on my website, which you can find at the end of this video in that link. So just click on it and you should be able to see the website and browse. And so really the take-home message here is to spend time thinking about what system that it is that you may be coming from. And if you are thinking of starting a family, it is important to have this idea in mind. What system am I creating? Am I creating a system that is solely enmeshed? or a system that is balanced. So not being overly differentiated where there's that aspect of losing connection, and not also being overly enmeshed that individuals find it difficult to be themselves. So again, thanks for watching, listening. Please do subscribe and click the like button and share with friends, families. And until next time, I'm your host, Dr. Ben. God bless you and look for more videos. Thank you.